You guys ever seen a pair of shoes in a store or online that you just absolutely had to have? That was the case with these loafers from Crockett and Jones when I saw them on their fall winter line on their website a few months ago. When I saw the Boston 2 in green in Roughout suede, I absolutely had to have them. Now these aren't cheap, right? And nothing Crockett and Jones makes is cheap. I mean, these don't come at a low price. It was over $700, $760 to be exact, before shipping and handling, sending them here in the United States. So when I made this investment, I had to be sure I was getting something good. Now, with companies like Crockett and Jones, this is an original heritage shoemaker out of Northampton, England. You know you're going to get something special. These are obviously Goodyear welted loafers like everything they make. They're handmade. They're really crafted with care. And of course, they come with hundreds of years of tradition from one of the best known, if not the best known English shoemaking brand in the world. What made this shoe so special? First, it's a Roughout suede, not just the green color. Roughout suede, probably from Charles F. Stead. They didn't say that on the website, but for this kind of suede and the quality that this shoe seems to be, it had to be Stead. So coming from a great tannery, Roughout suede is going to be infused with oils and waxes to make it super weather and water resistant. So let's get these Roughout suede Boston 2 loafers from Crockett and Jones out of the box over at the shoe table, where you're going to experience this with me for the first time. You're going to get to see how Crockett and Jones packages everything, which is awesome. It's not my first pair from them. And then you're going to see what I thought about wearing these, how they felt. Are they true to size? Yes, I can tell you that right now. Everything I've had from Crockett and Jones, including these, because I've tried these on, all that stuff is done now. This is true to size. So you get this in a UK size that you normally go with. For me, as you know, is UK 9.5, US 10.5. These fit perfect. It's on a brilliant last because this last was redesigned. I'll talk about that when I unbox it in 2015 to fit your heel better as a loafer, which is so important. And that's one of the things I needed to test for you. All right, it's time to get them out of the box. Let's take it over to the shoe table, and then I'll get to my final wear and use portion and my final recommendation.
Roughout suede loafer in green from Crockett and Jones. I wanted to do this one from the cardboard portion because it's nice. They do just a nice job with the presentation. There was some bubble wrap in the invoice with my full name and address. I don't like putting that on, but this is as it goes. I haven't seen the shoes yet. Every Crockett and Jones new pair of shoes comes with their current catalog. It's a great copy table, office, conversational piece, a really nice bound book for a catalog, and it's just a lot of fun to peruse through and learn about each shoe, learn about how they're made, and then the article, which I think is a quarterly publication, and it's just, again, I keep them. That's my second pair of Crockett and Jones. And then you get to the actual product and the excitement. Let me get the cardboard out of the way, and we'll continue with the unboxing. All right, continuing on. Man, I'm pumped for these. You can see here, I'll show you the label. It's on the 376 last, green Roughout suede with the Vibram sole. Just a really durable shoe. Fits true to size. I'm a 9.5 regular. This is the Boston 2. So a new take on the 376 last from Crockett and Jones. So always nice presentation. Nice dust bags here. So here we go. Let's get it out. And then we'll get everything else out of the way and get into the details. Oh, nice. Yes. Wow. Oh, look at that. Just a nice, subtle, dark olive-like green. That is exactly what I wanted. It's so cool. It's, you know, in certain light, you dress this. I would dress this as a dark brown, really, but it's just a fantastic business casual, versatile casual piece. What I love about this in a loafer is I can travel with this, wear this with denim. I can also wear this with chinos, and in the winter and fall, corduroy, thicker wool pants even. And, you know, in a suit, nah, it's too casual for a suit. Now look at that. With the box out of the background and planted in the light here, look at how it changes. See more green there? You should be able to see that subtle, which is what I wanted, green, which is a property of the nubbin, right? The raised fibers of the reverse, or what they call Roughout suede, right? You have this almost, what you have is the fibrous rough portion now on the outside of the shoe, and treated, it's a waxy Roughout. This is very water resistant right out of the box. I will give it a brush, which is the main part of caring for Roughout suede. Really, brushing does most of the work on its own. You do not want to over product and over treat Roughout suede. You don't need to, and we're going to cover that in a second. Of course, out of the box, I will brush it per directions. Doing research with Crockett and Jones, just looking at their website, Invulner spray from Saphir is perfectly okay. It's encouraged, and that adds to the waterproofing that Roughout suede already has with its natural water resistance, which is what I want, because coming into the fall season, even in the United States where I'm going on the East Coast and occasionally in the Northeast, they're going to get wet. So if you're familiar with the Crockett and Jones loafer, this is my first loafer from Crockett and Jones, but this is on a very traditional last. Think of the front half as the 314 last, the old school, well-known Crockett and Jones famous last. But the 376, think of the back now. What they changed in 2015, so it's 10 years old already, so it really stayed. People liked it, is they improved the heel cup, essentially the cupping and feel of the heel around your heel. So there should be, and they boast this in the Boston 2 online catalog when you look and you're shopping for it, that this is a real improvement on that 314 last, the 376, on how this stays around your heel and doesn't slip. It's a real nice, just a real nice look. And it's a higher heel. Some of these loafers, you can shape them how you want. If the heel's lower, which makes it a bit more, I guess, a casual last, the fit's even more important. You're going to have slipping. And of course, good leather, either way, if it's slight slipping, it's going to form to your foot as you walk. Trust me, I've even gotten away with buying really good loafers that are half a size large that eventually form to the heel and I lose all the slipping. Beautiful stitching. I don't see any real visible flaws. I know some people take the microscope to these after they get them, and I will look close. But what I love about Crockett and Jones as opposed to other shoemakers is I never see even simple surface scratches on the product as it comes to me, the customer. I feel like they just move it like a grail into the box. And, so you can see from the top here, the last, you can see that storm welt type lining along with the Vibram sole. Beautiful saddle stitching, really sturdy. And again, this is going to be a durable shoe. Treatment wise, I told you we talk about it again. You want to preserve the nubbin. Don't get it mixed up with dubbin. We're going to talk about it in a second. The nubs, right? That rough sort of raised texture feel, kind of like the raised cotton chinos we talked about, that fibrous feel. You want that to maintain. You do not want to over product this and smooth that out and dry it out. That's what happens. And if you don't treat this once a year with dubbin, something greasy like what Saphir provides, then it'll get a kind of different kind of worn out, drier patina look. I guess maybe people want that, but I literally will set a calendar. You want to preserve this, but with a very small amount, because anything grease, whether it's mink oil, dubbin, the oily shoe cream from Saphir, if you put too much on, it's because it's meant to create a layer and slowly absorb, then it'll fog it out and it will over-treat it and darken it. Okay, talking stitches per inch, as I always do. I measured along the saddle, which is a nice straight line. It's actually, you'd call this double stitched. Here you have stitching below the saddle, essentially coming through. And of course, that could be just one stitch. And you actually can see, no, that's actually two stitches there. And you can feel on the inside, you've got your lining stitch here and then the stitch along the saddle. But I measured 10, which is an excellent measurement for a more casual loafer. And even more importantly, measuring along the Goodyear welt, I measured 7, which is really good. Of course, with the Vibram sole, we don't see them, but you can measure along the Goodyear welt, along the top of the bottom sole, and you got a great measurement. You want to be 5 or over. Just beautiful penny holder. You can see here across the vamp going all the way up to your instep here. This is, I imagine, going to be a generous shoe. You're going to hear about how it wore, how I styled it next, as I always do. If they get wet, I'm going to know how well this Roughout performs, dries out, and looks after what I always do, is I wear these and put them to the full test. So let's get to it.
All right, guys, what do you think? Out of the box, these looked and felt fantastic. I absolutely love the Roughout suede texture, the nubs, these raised grains that you get on the rough side of the leather, this suede feel, and of course, how they were tanned for the weather resistance, which has proven out for me 100%. This rocketed to the top of my casual list for the weekend during this fall and winter season, and I'm going to wear these out. Of course, they're low maintenance, as I talked about. This is your best friend, the brush. Horsehair brush, aggressive with Roughout suede. To reactivate those oils is all you need. And then once a year from Saphir is the nubbin. I'm sorry, the dubbin. I always say nubbin because of the nubs. It's the dubbin, which you apply lightly once a year, rub it in. It's going to bring back the wax, the moisture, and keep these from drying out, which can happen over time, especially when you wear them as much as I did. Now, this featherweight cleated, as they say, I call it a lug sole, is much lighter than I even thought it would be when you read the marketing on the website. It's an incredibly light loafer for this type of build because it's strong. This rubber is no joke. This sole is no joke. I can wear this anywhere. You could wear this hiking. This 376 last fits incredibly. And like I said before, that is a redesign of a last that they did in 2015, or at least they redesigned it in 2015, which I believe was the 314 last. And I can say the heel fit is the best of any of the many loafers that I own. So yeah, I styled this with everything, guys. Denim. I styled this with chinos, with corduroy, if I recall, with chinos of all different fabrics. It's super versatile, and it looks great in that odd jacket and trouser combo for business. 100% recommend this, even at the price, which I don't always do if you follow me, guys. Not everything is worth the money in the shoe world. But when you get something lightweight, Goodyear and storm welted, that is a take on a very famous design, the Boston Loafer. And now they've made this winter fall, really waterproof version that you can wear just about anywhere in the fall and winter season. I think you got a home run. If you can put the money together, this is a fantastic shoe for a lifetime from Crockett and Jones, the Boston 2 and Roughout suede. Now, I don't know if you like the green or the brown. Honestly, I came close to ordering the brown as well, but I think that'd be overkill because I think this styles like a brown because although it's listed as green, it's got an olive color and texture to it, which makes it really versatile. So what do you think of this shoe, guys? Do you think it's worth the money? I do think something from Crockett and Jones comes with high expectations. And in my opinion, after wearing this for a while, my expectations are exceeded. Thanks so much for tuning in for this review of this fantastic loafer from Crockett and Jones. Tell me what you think. If you've got experience with this shoemaker or loafers like this in a really unique Roughout suede, I'd love to hear from you. Please like, subscribe, turn on your alerts for the show. Thank you for all your support, all your feedback, and everything you guys share on the show and everything you watch. And as always, stay prime.